Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
I hear about Penn State football, but I think it's appropriate to start with 49 good San Francisco seconds.
That'd be 49 better seconds than that team looks right now in terms of injuries. My goodness.
Oh, so we're already rolling out the injury.
That's right. The excuse completely. Week 1. Well, obviously, Purdy being out is big. Mac Jones hasn't exactly shown much. We'll see what he can show. He'll have his opportunity for the third time. Maybe third time's a charm.
The audience embraces your pain.
They do. I'm sure they do. They're applauding right now. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. They've got to limit the use a little bit. Not limit the use, but use Christian McCaffrey a little less. He got a hefty workload week 1.
Well, he got no workload last year.
He did. He did.
He should be fresh.
He's well rested, but he's going to be
fresh.
He's fresh, but he's going to be well fatigued by week 3 the way they're going. But yeah, it's when you lose your starting quarterback, it doesn't matter what team it is. That's a loss. That's very difficult to replace. They get paid big money for a reason. So It will be interesting to say with Purdy being out.
I'll quickly say this about the NFL, and then we'll get to Penn State. I watched the Buffalo game where they came back, beat the Ravens. I watched some of the Eagles-Cowboys game. You know, once I was doing the MLB Draft League Championship game that night, so literally the only part I saw was after the lightning delay. I watched the Bears and Vikings game on Monday night. I can't tell you how good any of these teams are, and who's actually really good and who's not. I can't tell. Watching them, I cannot tell.
No.
Right? Because nobody played, very few of the key players played in the preseason. So for a lot of them, it is the first time out. I can't tell. All right, Penn State. Because of circumstances, this is the first live shot I've done all week. Yesterday was Quarterback Club, and for those who may not know, my godmother passed away. So I was in Boston, Lexington, the Boston area on Monday and Tuesday. So I haven't really had a chance to talk about Penn State to this point. So if you're wondering and say, well, geez, where's your perspective been all week? Well, there's, there are bigger things in life. So, okay, that were really important to me. So now let's talk about where they are. I'll start on offense because that's where everybody wants to start. And the key number is, at this point, it's third down. But it's not, please, don't take the simplistic, it's third down. They were 3 of 12. No. Okay, you've got to go deeper than that to then really identify where things are. You can't just take the simplistic, which many have taken, the simplistic route of, well, it's third down. No, it's deeper than that. Okay? So let's break it down into parts. On third down and 5 or better, if you're better than 33%, you're doing really well. I mean, really well. And Penn State through 2 games is at 38% on third down and better than 5. Well, that's actually really, really good. I'll give you some perspective. Last year, that's about the number was Penn State. It was right around the number they had last year for the season. And defensively, Penn State's been keeping teams in recent years in the 20 to 25% range on third down and 5 or better. And there are more third down and 5 or betters against the Penn State defense than there are third and shorts. Okay? So Penn State offensively 38% so far on third and 5 or better. That's really good. So no issue there. It's third down and short. Now, so third down and short, third down and what you would say is manageable. Penn State, right, if you were between 55 and 65%, right around that range, you're doing really well on third down and less than 4. 55 to 65%, somewhere in there. Penn State right now is 33%. That's where it is. It's those third and shorts that they have, which then, if you don't make it, leads to fourth and short. And for example, on Saturday, they were 2 of 4 on the fourth downs, and all the fourth down plays were short plays. So they've got to be better there, because then that keeps the drive alive, keeps it going, keeps their offense off the field. You grind up more clock, get more opportunities, score more points. And that is absolutely correctable. With those 2 running backs, the tight ends, the wide receivers they have, which is all an upgrade, okay, that is something that is absolutely correctable. And I think they've been doing some probing as to what plays are really good in those situations. And so that's where it is. And I expect that to dramatically improve because it's a correctable situation. So it's really third down and less than 4. Because on first down, Penn State is averaging right now 8 yards per play on first down. Currently, Penn State has 60% of its offense on first down, yardage-wise. 60%. That's phenomenal. Now, I think you'd like to see your yardage be around 48 to 52%, somewhere on there on first down, right? That tells you then you're getting yardage on second down, you're getting yardage on third down, right? But, on first down, they've been averaging 8 yards a play on first down. And they're pretty close. I think it's like 53-47 run to pass on first down. That's where they are through 2 games. Defensively, the key is you want to play a little faster. And I don't mean running. That's
right.
Not what I mean by playing fast. It's up here, okay? Right, where you see it, you believe it, you go. Okay? Jim makes the call, you know exactly where you're supposed to be. I'll give you an example of a guy that looked like he was playing the game faster last Saturday, King Mack. King Mack came on, and I thought played a really solid game at safety when he was in the game. I mean, there's certain guys you expect. A.J. Harris plays fast. I mean, Zaki Wheatley plays fast. I think Tony Rojas is playing fast. I mean, I'm talking about mentally. I think Amari Campbell is.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got some guys that are. Now you have to have all 11 guys just mentally playing the game a little faster. Now, part of that is getting used to what Jim wants to do, Jim Knowles, in practical application. All right? And that's why next week is going to be one of the pivotal weeks of the season. And I have felt this, for those of you who watch the show, I've felt this the entire time. Next week is the week you do some self-scouting. Okay, where you sit down, it's a bye week, and that coaching staff and those coordinators, all 3 coordinators, will self-scout. Now, you try to self-scout as much as you can during the week, but now you've got some time to breathe a little bit and say, okay, what works, what can be better, and then what doesn't work. Right? There's certain things, no matter what you do, like, if you've got 9 guys that are really great at it and 2 guys don't get it, you have to take it out of there. Right? Because the 2 guys that don't get it make it so it doesn't work. So you have to have all 11 guys that you have out there be on the same page and make it work. Offense, defense, special teams. In special teams, you've got the King Mack kickoff return, Wosu's punting, the block punt by Dominic DeLuca. I mean, you got a bunch of things. Now, don't start wringing your hands over 2 kickoffs out of bounds. When did the kickoffs out of bounds occur? Late in the game.
Late in the game.
What does that tell you? Okay?
Yeah.
That tells you they're trying to experiment with something
Sure.
to see if they can make it work in practical application. That's all it is. Okay? Don't get all, just settle down. It's all right. Okay? Right? Again, what works, what doesn't work, what are you good at, what aren't you good at? Okay? That's what you're finding out in the first 3 games of the season. So next week is going to be one of the pivotal weeks of the season because it's the first chance after 3 games under your belt to self-scout about where you are, pro, con, and areas to improve. And also areas where you're on the right track. So that's what it's about to this point. Was Drew Aller a half step off last week? Yeah. Okay? You could see that. We could all see that. He started out 1 for 5. Then he kind of hit a little bit of a hot streak. But again, it is obvious that the 3 receivers that they brought in are an upgrade. They're an upgrade. They made a statement to others that they got Reynolds involved. They made a statement to others because they got Ross involved. Okay? Well, now you've made statements about different people you can get involved. Now you just mix it up all over the place. The first game, Pena and Hudson were the guys involved. Allen had a great game running the ball. I mean, Singleton actually had a really good game running the ball. I mean, Singleton had 75 yards rushing in the game, and he's not exactly out there pounding it 20 times.
No.
All right? So he had a really good game running the ball. But again, the key is, right, you want to play it. As each week goes, you should play faster on defense. They should play faster on defense this week, mentally. Okay, that's one. Number 2, be better on 3rd down and less than 4. That's really the only area that is holding them back, right? If you're looking for an area like what has slowed them down on offense, I don't mean stop them, slowed them down. It's been the 3rd down and less than 4. You need, this team is capable of being better than 33% in those. And same thing with the 4th down part, because those are all 4th and shorts. Penalties, they had 1 on Saturday. Now, unfortunately, it was on one of the fun plays of the game. It was the throwback to and the lateral to
2-point conversion.
The 2-point play, which was great. And then look, did I see the holding? No, I'm watching the ball. And
it was.
When they showed us, huh?
It was.
No,
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
saying I'm watching the ball.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound crazy, but we do have a monitor in the booth. So when I looked at the monitor to see where it was, because it was a noon game,
yeah,
the sun was shining.
Sun
down
was
in such
so
a way
close
where I
you couldn't even see
the
it.
Screen,
Yeah.
So it didn't matter.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Okay, I don't know. I can't see it. But that was the only penalty they had. They've only had 6 penalties in 2 games. So that's 3 penalties a game. They haven't turned the ball over. They've created 5 takeaways. The 2 biggest stats in football today, without question, the 2 biggest stats in football today are giveaway, takeaway, and big plays.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
And a lot of their
Giveaway,
penalties.
Takeaway, big plays. Now, penalties.
Yeah.
You don't want. Now, that's a penalty that's in the play.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Penalties in the play happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They happen. Bodies are twisting and turning all over the place. It's kind of like when we try to get money out of you. And so bodies are twisting
not easy.
and turning. Tell me about it. My goodness, you open your wallet one day, a moth flew out. Like, really? And so, so penalties will happen. A grab and a pass interference, whatever. It's the pre-snap penalties that drive you crazy. And Penn State's had 1 in 2 games. Okay? The post-snap penalties, the post-possession penalties, play is over and you do something dumb and you have a personal foul. They haven't had that. Okay? So the discipline part has been there to this point. To this point, the discipline part has been there. So when you're talking about 1 penalty, giving up no points, not turning the ball over, getting a couple of takeaways, converting one of them into a touchdown. Okay? Most people consider that to be a good day's work. Opening game, they scored 16 points off of takeaways, had 3 of them, did not turn it over, only committed 4 penalties in the game, technically 5 because of the bizarre. I already explained what happened there. The center judge did everything right. And kept asking the referee to reset the play clock. You watch the tape. He's like, his hand, like, come on. He's like, It's like, what are we doing here? But that's what you have to this point. 3 penalties per game, no turnovers, plus 5 giveaway, takeaway, 23 points off of takeaways. Now, are they the better team than these other teams? Yes.
Sure.
Right? But You can still be the better team than somebody else and turn the ball over. You can still be the better team than somebody else and have a lot of penalties. You can still be the better team than somebody else and not get any takeaways. I mean,
Sure.
right, all that. Okay, you can still be the better team and give up a big play. You can still be the better, but they're winning all these things. All right, middle eight. They won the middle eight in both games. All right, once they ended up figuring out in the first game, who actually won the coin toss and who deferred. I think after that, opened the door to winning the middle eight. I think Penn State's now won 51 since 2017. Penn State is 51-4 when winning the middle eight. That's how important these things are. Okay, I think they're 47-0 when they win both the big plays and the takeaway since 2016. You're like, wow, what about the years before? That's all the stat I have.
Yeah,
it's only so far I can go back.
Still incredible.
Okay, I'm saying though, my research only goes back so far. Okay. What other broadcast is telling you this?
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's still incredible.
Right? I mean, nobody else is telling you that.
No.
So that's where they are through two games. Now, are you the prohibitive favorite in both games? Yes. Are you expected to win big? Yes. Have they won both games by comfortable margins? Yes. Okay. Now you got another one where yes, you are the prohibitive favorite. I got that. But doing the expected, last time I checked, was good.
Good. Sure.
Right. Well, in your case, when it comes time to get money from you, you do the expected and don't give any.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, it's
Ebenezer.
it's like great job there. The Red Cross would like some money. Well, Steve will give you double. Make up for my share. By the
Somebody
way,
says they'll give 10,000. I say I got 10, so 20,000. No, 10,010.
you're killing me. By the way, of course, this is the 24th anniversary of 9/11, and we recognize all the incredible people who woke up that day, went in there and lost their lives. We recognize all those people who woke up that day with whatever hope, optimism, troubles, whatever it may be, who then lost their loved one or their friend that day. All the incredible first responders, police, fire departments, EMTs that ran toward the disaster and then lost their lives in it. It is something that should never be forgotten, and I know they are commemorating today. Next year will be the 25th anniversary, but we want to make sure that we recognize that because we think it's very important to recognize that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and most of us remember. Yeah, there's no doubt. Remember where we were, without question. I think it hit real hard when I went to New Jersey that Friday, and I still remember it. Obviously, it hit hard the day I was in college. We gathered around the news, waiting and watching. Our classes were canceled after 2 o'clock, and I still remember it. But I remember driving past Giant Stadium and seeing cars that were parked in that parking lot and that commuter lot still there that Friday because they had driven there and they never returned, unfortunately. But what you see that I think just hit so hard, and the realization came into everybody realized how unspeakable of a tragedy it was. But you see that it just that's a moment, an image I will just never forget as long as I'm alive.
Yeah. So the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The passengers of that plane that went down at Shanksville prevented a plane from either hitting the Capitol or the White House, one of the two. And so, so we want to make sure we recognize that on this day. Your football team is a disaster.
They are. Somehow want to know. I have no idea how.
They're a disaster. your baseball team's playing better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You have a 10-game lead now. I think that's huge.
And the Mets came in and they just took care of business. And Schwarber, it's interesting. Schwarber hit his 50th home run this week. It was the first home run he hit since the four home run night.
Yep.
It's amazing. Paul Skeens, we all know the Pirates are out of it, but this guy is the leading candidate to be the Cy Young Award winner in the National League. He went over 200 strikeouts on the season. And the Pirates are now in the process of managing his workload. They lost again last night, 2-1, but again, he doesn't figure in the loss. He struck out 8 Baltimore Orioles last night. He only threw 64 pitches last night. 64 pitches. That's why managing his workload. I mean, over 178 innings, he has 203 strikeouts. Now, that's just a little bit more than what he threw last year between a combination of the Pirates and AAA Indianapolis. He threw 160 and a third last year. His ERA is 1.92. What's interesting about this is that he's been even better since the All-Star break. He was great before the All-Star break. He's been even better since the All-Star break. And that's what I have found to be remarkable about him, is the consistency with which he has pitched at a high level. Now, whether he makes his next start or not, we'll see, because they're just trying to manage his innings. But, by the way, it's going to be the 7th consecutive year the Pirates finish under 500. They've finished under 500 now, 29 of the last 33 years, because last night was loss number 82. But it's the 11th start where he has completed 5 innings without allowing a run. Right? It is the 11th start Skeens has made where he has pitched 5 innings and has not allowed a run. 8 of those have been since July 1st. 8 of the 11 have been since July 1st. So, on a team that is, every once in a while, they'll do something. They'll beat the Dodgers. Or they'll take 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. Or whatever. Every once in a while, they'll do something. But their offense has just been so bad that, look, last night, you got this guy out there. You scored a run.
It's been the problem all year.
Okay, this isn't the 71 Orioles here with McNally, Palmer, Pat Dobson, and Mike Cuellar. Okay? That's not that team.
Or the 95 Braves, yeah.
You scored 1. Ah, man. But Skeens, special. Right? And he was special last year. Look, he comes in, what do I always say? It's all about adjustments. He comes in last year, he's incredible. The league has had a year to adjust to him. So they've tried to make adjustments, and guess what? He's still really good. He's better. He's got a track record now. This isn't just a fly-by-night, had a really good few months and we're done, and all of a sudden they catch up to you and you're getting hit around and so forth, and you've got to, I don't even know what he's had to adjust back to, because he's been so good that all the adjustments they've made against him have not worked. He's just that good. So credit to Paul Skeens for all of that. Billy Edwards will not play against Alabama Saturday, the Wisconsin quarterback, former Maryland quarterback. He is expected to travel with the team. They say he's going to warm up for the game, but they say he faces long odds. He sprained his knee in the opening 17-0 win over Miami of Ohio. So Danny O'Neill, who transferred from San Diego State, is going to be the starting quarterback, it looks like, against Alabama. And they're off to a 2-0 start. They beat Middle Tennessee State. than Miami of Ohio. Alabama, as we all know, is 1-1 because they lost to Florida State in the opener.
They did.
The Phillies won 11-3 last night, and I mean now they've opened up a 10-game lead. They're 86-60. The Mets are 76-70, and I mean their pitching has been good enough. Sanchez pitched well again last night. He gave up 1 run on 4 hits. He struck out 6, walked 1. I mean, terrific. Clay Holmes, the former State College Spike, took the loss. He's 11-8. But yeah, suddenly the Mets are back to being the Mets. I mean, Juan Soto's getting the gross domestic product of guitar, and is hitting a whopping 264.
It's been the story of Soto's career in a lot of ways. It just the potential, you see it clear as day, and he has moments where
you're gonna
he's
39 home runs.
He's still hitting 264, and he's not a guy that's going to get on base enough for you. That's the problem. That was the problem in San Diego, and then he on a contract year has a phenomenal year with the Yankees, but
I think with him it's comfort. When he was with the Nationals, young up and coming player, they're all coming up together, right? Nationals win the World Series in 19. He played terrific.
You're right.
When he went to San Diego, everybody thought it was a slam dunk that you put him in the lineup with Machado and others that they had. Tatis. Wow, it's going to be wow. Look what San Diego's done, and they figured out right away he didn't fit.
No.
So that's why the Yankee thing came up, because he didn't fit. The Yankees, to their credit, he fit. The Mets, no, doesn't fit. I mean, he's all about fit and comfort, and apparently, you can look at him. I mean, he's with the Mets the same way he was with San Diego. And one quick note about the Yankees. When you watch the Phillies play, the Phillies are a fun team to watch. They're fun.
Sure.
And they look like they're having fun. Right? Now let's take a really young team that has a couple of veterans on it. The Red Sox.
Yeah.
Story, Bregman, Chapman. They have some veterans, right? They're a fun team to watch. Duran, Rafaela, right? Narvaez, guys that aren't household names. When Roman Anthony was out there, one of the true budding stars, right? They're fun. The Yankees are not fun, and they don't look like they're having fun. They look like they are being marched to the chamber every single at bat. I gotta get a hit. I gotta make a pitch. I gotta make a play. I mean, they're lousy at running the bases. I don't care what Aaron Boone says. We're just as good as anybody else. Oh, really? Is the rest of the league that bad? Right? I mean, they're lousy at running the bases. They're not very good in the field.
No.
Okay. It's not as if they don't have star players that can make plays. They do. But they just look like they are not in any way, shape, or form having a good time. And they are a team that does not even remotely look like they're having fun. They blew that game the other night. What did they give up? 7 runs, 8 runs the other night to Detroit?
Detroit, yeah. Yep.
And they lost that game.
Yep.
Right? Like they're cruising along, everything's great. They lost. Last night, they lost 11-1. And Detroit clobbered them again. Okay. Okay. Who knows? I mean, Judge has hit 44 home runs. So Judge, I think, is what now 2 home runs away from Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah, he's getting up there
on the all-time
close.
List. He passed Yogi Berra.
Yeah, past Yogi. Right? Yep.
So big headline: ties Yogi Berra for 5th on all-time Yankee list. Number one, I'm impressed that I was actually more impressed. Wow, Yogi Berra had 358.
So was I, because I didn't know he did either.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, who's fifth in the all-time Phillies list? Who's fifth in the all-time Pirates list? Right. We're doing headlines that that doesn't matter.
No.
We're making headlines. I'm what? Who's fifth in the all-time Red Sox list? Last I checked their storied franchise. How about the Cardinals? Storied franchise.
Same thing.
Who's
yeah.
fifth in the all-time? Who's fifth in the all-time Dodgers home run list? Come on. We're just making stuff up to make stuff up because they just want to put his name in a headline. And it's not his fault. That's not his fault.
No, it never was.
Right? It's people looking for clicks. Oh, look what he's done. Right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. Okay, so let's look what he's done. Here's the last 5 games. 2 for 7, 2 for 8, 3 for 11, and he's 3 for his last 14 at the plate. With 1 home run, 1 RBI. Right? There we go. Right? I'll give you an instance early in the season. They're playing at Fenway Park. All right? And remember, you get the home run to tie the game in the 9th inning off Garrett Crochet.
Yeah.
Right? And the Red Sox won the game in extras. I think Narvaez drove in the game-winning run off the wall. Right? Crochet struck him out 3 times before that. Oh, he homered. What about the 3 times he struck out and left all those guys on base? I mean, let's do something. Let's at least balance it out. Right? Then they went to Yankee Stadium. He struck him out 3 more times.
Yeah.
Right? And he's a great player. He's a legitimately great player. But don't blow up the name of a great player over something that's like.
Right. Yeah.
And I know it's part of the ESPN formula.
Yeah, there's no question.
The college communications never liked me talking about the ESPN formula because they want to suck up to them because they want as many internships as possible. I got it. But I'll tell you straight out, okay? They don't do a good job of covering sports. They used to.
No, they used to do an exceptional job.
They used to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, you watch a half hour of Sports Center, you got every highlight. You knew about everybody, everything. We can laugh about Chris Berman's nicknames, but Chris Berman's nicknames were for every team in the league, not just one.
And you got detailed coverage of every team, too. You got detailed coverage of highlights. You got detailed analysis of every team. That was, for years. And that was no matter what the sport. Baseball Tonight was an exceptional show. NFL Primetime, incredible show.
To me, and I've mentioned this 1,000 times, I'll make it 1,000. I feel it's an obligation in the jobs that we do, and that includes them, that when the show is over, did you learn more?
Yeah.
I
agree.
You learn more? When I was talking at the beginning about 3rd down, 5+, 3rd down, less than 4, things like that, okay, I'm going to guess the audience learned something about that to this point. They're going to watch the game now in such a way on Saturday to say, okay, it's 3rd down, less than 4. Let's see if they convert it here. Right? I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, did you know Penn State's averaging 8 yards per play on 1st down? Again, did you learn more about the game? They don't do that. They want to tell you what Shohei Ohtani did. They want to tell you what Aaron Judge did. It's not Shohei Ohtani's fault, and it's not Aaron Judge's fault. They're just the players in all this. They're not out there begging and manipulating coverage, right? But, what do you know about anybody else? I mean, Cal Raleigh kind of caught him by surprise. And that's why the resources they have, Tim Kirchin is an unbelievable resource. He's an incredible resource. He knows everything about everybody. And is, by the way, one of the nicest guys on the planet. I personally like Tim, not a little.
Same.
And as a person, right? Buster Olney, I think, does a great job. They've got all these great resources, right? And they don't utilize them. They'll utilize them in games, which is fine because their game coverage is fine. I have no problem with the game coverage. It's all the stuff outside of it where it's all trying to get a click. Right? You go to ESPN.com, it's all click stories.
Right.
Right? They're all click stories. I look at it, I'm not going to, and I don't bother clicking on it. All right? I just don't bother because most of the time it's a waste of my time. And you know, when they're done with something, do you know more? In College Game Day, when Nick Saban talks, I feel like I've learned so much more. And I didn't watch Game Day last week, and I'm probably not going to watch it this week either. Right? I mean, last week, you know, Penn State had a noon game, so I was going in anyway.
Right.
Jack and I went over at 9 o'clock together. But, I mean, I'm probably not going to watch it this week. I mean, I watched when Coach Corso did his last, you know, when Lee put on the headgear, things like that. That, you know, I watched that because I thought that was a great TV moment, and I thought ESPN did a great job with it. But there's no desire to watch it anymore because, and I've said this again, and we'll do the 1,000. This will be 1,001. When they were 2 hours, they had to zero in on a lot of stuff in 2 hours. When they expanded to a third hour, from a business perspective, it was absolutely the right move. Absolutely. Because that extra hour, they could sell like that because it's game day. So from a business point of view, hey, we're sitting in the room. Hey, let's put a show of hands. You want to go an extra hour? I put my hand up because I think it's a financial gold mine. Okay? But it doesn't mean the show's better.
Right.
Right? There's now more. I mean, they're trying to entertain, and, you know, the field goal thing and the money from McAfee thing. Okay. But other than that, except when Nick Saban talks, yeah, and Kirk Herbstreit, obviously.
Herbie's incredible. Yeah.
So when Nick Saban and Kirk Herbstreit talk, you learn more. Feel like when you're done, like, hey, okay, learn a little bit more about the game. People can complain about Urban Meyer on Big Noon Kickoff.
Oh yeah, he's incredible.
But when Urban Meyer's done talking about football, you feel like you've learned more about the game. They don't have enough of that on that set.
No,
it's not Reese Davis's fault. He's the facilitator, the host. But other people don't come through on that set that enhance the program. And, you know, so, like, I'm probably not, again, that's why I don't watch NFL pregame shows. What do I learn? Brock Purdy's hurt?
Yeah, which we've already known.
Right. Mac Jones is going to replace him? Okay. All right. Okay. Do I need to know anything else? Not really.
No, we're in a world now where you know everything going into the game without putting a TV on. That's a good point. Absolutely. There's no question about it.
These years, it's your first one.
There it is. Finally.
He makes a ton.
Took a while.
He makes a ton of good points. No, you're right. I mean, your point is spot on. That by the time you get to this stuff, it's already taken care of.
Absolutely.
I also, I think it's very important too that when you're covering a specific team, I think some people have done a great job of finding a niche. For example, and I mean niche is a complete compliment.
Yeah.
In other words, niche being something that's a little different than everybody else. Let's take Thomas Frank Carr, who sat in that chair many, many years. Okay. His ability to break down video. I think that's invaluable for fans.
Sure.
To see, and you learn more from something like that. Okay? People like Mark Brennan, Sean Fitz, they'll write some insights as to what's going on and some inside information they have. That's invaluable for fans, or Nate Bauer.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think that, that's important. So I just think that we're here to entertain. And I've always talked about this, that in my early years of teaching at Penn State, when I got to the talk show segment, I would talk to them about, hey, make sure hey, you have your facts, use your facts. We can draw different conclusions from the facts. That's no problem. At least we're operating in a setting with facts. You know what I left out the first couple of years? And I realized, I said, you know what? I got to change how I'm teaching this. I said, because I'm leaving out the other part. This is still a show. There's still an entertainment value to it. You can have some fun. So back to game day. Does McAfee provide some entertainment? Sure he does.
Sure.
He does. Right? But that's 3 long hours. Okay? It's not a 1 hour show. It's 3 long hours of it. And so you have to be entertaining at times, and you also have to be, make sure you're giving some fans some insights that maybe they didn't have before. Yeah, that's what I think the obligation happens to be. And I just don't think consistently the worldwide leader in sports provides that.
No.
Their NBA stuff is the worst.
Yeah, that's the one where and that's nothing against the guys that cover the games itself. And Mike Breen is the very best of the best.
Oh, Mike is absolutely.
Yeah, that's incredible. I would even argue their game coverage suffers a little bit because of the rest of the coverage, because you add that into it so much, and it makes it worse. That's the unfortunate part of the NBA. I think it's got so much potential to be great. Again, I've said it 100 times, you're reaching a demographic that is the most difficult to reach of all television or streaming. But unfortunately, the coverage you're trying too hard, I think, a lot of times at the coverage, and it's suffering because of that.
How often do you find yourself at halftime of an NBA playoff game leaving, turning it off?
All the time.
And then rejoining it in the third quarter at some point? I mean, they come out at halftime. I don't want to watch it. Because they're not saying anything. No. I just watch the game.
They have too many people on the coverage. I think that's part of the problem. But yeah, the other part of it is you're not learning a lot either. And that's the other part of it, unfortunately.
Right. And again, I think that's our obligation to
Sure.
I don't care whether it's through observation. Okay, so let's take observation. I talked about Penn State's defense mentally playing a little faster, being comfortable with what Jim's calling, and then seeing it, believing it, and then going from there, right? That's observation. Sometimes you need to take observation. That's just one of those you're observing. The other one, you can take stats to then back up what you're seeing. Talked about first down, 8 yards of play. 60% of the offense on first down. Okay, great. Okay, that's stats backing up what you are seeing. Third down less than 4. Third down 5+, no problem. Third down less than 4, and then fourth and short. Need to be better. Observation backed up by numbers. Okay. And in that way, when it's over with, do you know more about the game? Do you know more about the game? And that to me is our obligation to you as an audience. Did you learn more? Now, your observations on the 49ers, it's just to torture you. Who do you have this week?
Saints.
They have no chance.
No, well, not New Orleans. I don't think with a backup quarterback.
I'm just kidding because the Saints are not very good.
Yeah, those that haven't heard on Purdy, by the way, it has been downgraded to 2 to 5 weeks with turf toe.
That's like saying that we're going to get 2 to 14 inches of
That's
snow.
right. That's why these analysts do that. They cover their rear ends a little bit. They cover.
This is years.
I would say
Jason, this is years and years ago. Here locally, on the cable, we used to have Channel 4.
Yeah.
And Channel 4 was, we always referred to as the Word Channel. So it had news on it, news, sports. It was all written form.
Written form. Yep, I remember it.
So one day, we're looking at Channel 4, and we weren't, our side of the town, we weren't in charge of it. And they had the forecast came up, and it said 2 to 14 inches of snow. I'm like sitting there like going,
oh, man.
No offense.
Oh, my goodness.
I looked at everybody and said, no offense, kind of hard to be wrong there.
Yeah. Well, I remember when they first changed a coating to an inch to a coating to an inch or 2. Right. Then it went to a coating to an inch to 3. I'm thinking, well, you're stretching it a little bit, but yeah, 2 to 14 is, my goodness.
Hey, we ended up with 4.2 inches. Well, technically,
you technically fell into the category, yeah.
They were right. All right. So 2 to 5 weeks, yeah, technically correct.
I think in that case, you just put it's going to snow.
Right. And by the way, if you're wondering what turf toe is, it's a sprain.
Yeah, it is.
Very difficult.
I was going to say, it's an injury that if I were, and again, there's no MD next to my name, nor will there ever be. That is one that is typically the back end of the prognosis. 2 to 5 weeks, I would guess 4 to 5 weeks. Yeah, that's an injury that you don't recover from very easily.
But you play a doctor on the radio.
I try. Doogie Howser has me beat. I don't think you get a 1600 at age 16 on an SAT. You put all 3 of my SATs I took together. Well, yeah, they do. I was going to say they don't equal 1600, but yes, they do. I got into Penn State. I had to do something right.
Yeah. This is what you did right.
No.
No, your family made a huge donation.
And they finally said, we'll let you in, reluctantly. Yeah. That way I got to look when they handed me my degree at the graduation there.
Hey, what was it like doing that Harrisburg game last week?
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, that's certainly a game that is one you'll remember at Memorial Field. One of the top, who knows, 5 to 10 I've done at Memorial Field. Somebody asked me afterwards, is that the greatest game I ever called? No, but it certainly was a game that you're not going to forget in a lot of ways. State College coming back from 21 down, I think was extremely impressive, down 34-13. And just the roller coaster it was. State College took 13 at the lead. Harrisburg goes back, scored 34 unanswered. State College ties it. And then, in double overtime, just the game. The cliche, football's a game of inches, it really was. Yeah, Lewis almost fumbles at the 1 yard line. He just barely gets into the end zone. Harrisburg wins the game. And that's something I think State College will build on. And Harrisburg, I think, is a team that we're going to certainly see at the end of the year. They're a very good team. They're 3-0 now. Messiah Mickens, unfortunately, it's the only downside of it. We didn't get to see him play Friday night. But, yeah, absolutely incredible game and something that both teams are going to be able to build on.
Yeah. There had to be some wild game. How long did it take to play that game?
Probably about 20 after 10 or so the game was over, somewhere around there. 7. I think it's 7:06 was the exact time. It was on TV, but it was, absolutely incredible game. 2 of the best, I'll tell you, that you don't always give credit to the bands. 2 of the great bands in high school football, without question. State High's is incredible, and Harrisburg's puts on a show that you don't forget. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's
incredible.
And what about this week?
Cumberland Valley. Yep, Cumberland Valley at Memorial Field. They're a team that is struggling. I think struggling to find their way a little bit. They're not your CV team of years past. I think they're a team that doesn't run the football as much, and coming off a loss to Altoona, which is not a good loss there. But having said that, for some reason, there is something about Harrisburg teams making that trip to Mansion Park. They'll play well there. So I think it's not a complete shock they lost that game, but back at Memorial Field, State College looks to avenge last season's loss. So it should be a good one. Looking forward to it.
Okay, that'll start at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, so that should be good. I've always talked about how Friday nights in Pennsylvania are just so different. Because I grew up in Connecticut, and I played high school football in Connecticut. We played one game under the lights, one. Yeah.
Harrisburg plays 0 on their home field.
Right. No, but I'm saying
It's-
total. In the
Yeah.
years
Yep.
I played, we played one. It was at Fitch High School down in New London. And we all felt like we were playing Monday Night Football.
Nice.
Like, this is great.
That's cool.
Because it's the only time we ever
The only
did.
time you're going to get a chance to do it, yeah.
We thought it was great. I mean, because we always played Saturdays at 1:30, right, all the time, home or away. And then when I came to Pennsylvania, wow. So my first 2 years, as you know, I was at Penn State Wilkes-Barre. So they had Channel 16 in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. They used to have what was called their Super 16 for Channel 16, Super 16 teams.
Yeah.
Right? And they were out covering these people left and right. And it was like, I thought to myself, this high school football is a big, big deal here.
Yeah, WNAP still does that.
Yeah, but I'm
Yep.
saying like it's a big deal in the whole state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, then I moved out here for my junior year of college and experienced, State High, Bellefonte,
Yeah.
thing, and how it's played here. And there's just something special about high school football in this state. It's just different than anywhere else. Yeah, I know Texas has its reps. I know Ohio has its rep. There's something about Pennsylvania high school football.
Yeah.
The band, the color guard, the cheerleaders, the players, the crowds on a Friday night. It's your hometown. It's against somebody else. It's your son out there playing, or maybe your daughter's in the color guard of the band, or a cheerleader, whatever it may be. And it's the sights, the sounds, the smells with the food.
Sure.
What's your favorite food over at Memorial Field? You don't usually eat a lot.
I don't usually eat much, no. I'll get a soft pretzel there. I've had that before. Very good.
They still have the cider there?
I don't know. Yeah, I
When I
haven't.
was doing the games back in the days, they had cider.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember the days. Yeah, the concession stand was under the bleachers for many years.
Yes, it was underneath the bleachers.
Yep.
And I know that I remember in the 80s doing a game at Mount Carmel.
Oh, okay. Coal region. Yeah.
Mount Carmel won the game like 42-7.
Yeah. Oh, they were winningest program in Pennsylvania high school football.
And they served something, and I didn't have it, called halushki.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's coal region. You better believe it. Yeah.
Right? And the fans, they loved
Oh,
halushki.
no doubt. Yeah.
I mean, we're lucky where I grew up, they served a hot dog.
Yeah. No, they had. Yep. Halushki's amazing. Yep.
So, halushki.
Yep.
Not served at Beaver Stadium, I might add.
Nope. There's a couple things you hit the coal region and the Pottsville and Mount Carmel areas you can experience. I think Halushki's being one. Mrs. T's Pierogies is another one that I think a lot of people love. There's a lot of things in the coal region. Of course, the alcoholic drink, we're not going to... America's oldest brewery, how's that? It's when you know what I'm talking about if you're listening. But yeah, that is obviously a Pottsville tradition.
Meanwhile, it was the Pottstown Firebirds, by the way.
It was. And Pottsville had the Maroons.
Had the Maroons, who won allegedly in 1925.
Yeah, 100th anniversary of that. Just had a banquet in August for that. It was
1925 title, which I think was awarded to the New York Giants in 1925.
Giants or Chicago
I
Cardinals?
think it was the Giants.
Was the Giants? Because I know in 25, they had the scrimmage with the Four Horsemen. Were stripped of the title. Yeah.
So, well, it should have done.
Don't tell that city of Pottsville that. My goodness.
Yeah.
They're convinced that the Bidwells and the Cardinals have been forever cursed because of that.
Probably.
They might be. I was going to say, they might be. They might be onto something.
Probably. Yeah. Lift the curse. All right. Wrapped up another. Are you here tomorrow?
I am not. I will be traveling, but
Oh, sorry. Great job as always, my friend. Appreciate it.
likewise.